As we sleep safely, Nigerian military personnel are vigilant, protecting us from harm's way. They are far from home, facing dangers and hardships, all for the love of our great nation. Welcome to Gallantry, the heroic exploit of the Nigerian military. Today's episode is packed with thrilling stories of bravery and sacrifice. In this week's episode, we will get reports from the ongoing military operations as at 18th October 2024 by the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba. We will hear from a military general sharing his inspiring stories of courage and triumph throughout his career as a sportsman heading military sports in Africa. Of course, you know that the military is synonymous to sports. We will also showcase the military's operational capabilities and strategic approaches to combating insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and other forms of criminality. And we will also honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our nation. And a whole lot more from today's episode. I am Godwin Amunde, your host. Gallantry, the heroic exploit of the Nigerian military. It is a captivating television program that delves into the diverse and often unseen operations of the Nigerian Military Task Force, JTF, across the country's 6 geopolitical zones. Each episode will embark on a captivating journey, exploring a specific JTF operation within a unique zone. Viewers will be immersed in the heart of the action, witnessing firsthand the challenges, strategies, and triumphs of the Nigerian military as they tackle pressing security concerns in their respective regions. Join me every Saturday at 3 p.m. on Rapid Television, channel 176 on the Star Times decoder for an interesting expository package.
I am Major General Edward Buba, the Director Defense Media Operations at Defense Headquarters. For more on our activities, stay tuned to Gallantry on Rapid Television.
You can as well follow us on all our social media handles. Welcome back. Get ready for reports from the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, on the latest military operations as of October 18, 2024. From dismantling terrorist strongholds in the north-central region to arresting 45 perpetrators of oil theft in the south-south operational region, the Nigerian Army's commitment to protecting the nation is unparalleled. Troops are actively disrupting the operational capabilities of terrorists through ongoing operation across the country. Significantly, troops eliminated 5 IPOP and ESN terrorist leaders during the week. Additionally, troops in the North Central Operational Theater arrested a notorious terrorist commander identified as Osman Masaje. The arrested terrorist commander is a close associate of a wanted high-profile terrorist leader known as Kachala Boka. The arrest has been rewarding in intelligence value as he is cooperating and providing troops with much needed intelligence for further operations. Meanwhile, during the week under review, troops neutralized 96 and arrested 227 persons. Troops also arrested 45 perpetrators of oil theft and rescued 157 kidnapped hostages. In the South-South, troops denied the oil theft of the estimated sum of 712,065,455 naira. Furthermore, troops recovered 71 assaulted weapons and 1,463 assaulted ammunition. The breakdown as follows: 50 AK-47 rifles, 16 fabricated rifles, 5 Dane guns, 5 pump action guns, 5 locally made pistols, 1 revolver pistol and 16 AK-47 magazines. Others are 784 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammo, 403 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO, 164 rounds, 7.62 2 by 39 mm ammo, 53 rounds of 9 mm ammo, 67 live cartridges, 1 Befenk radio, 19 vehicles, 23 motorcycles, 35 mobile phones, amongst other items. Troops in the Niger Delta area discovered and destroyed 4 duck-out pits, 48 boats, 52 drums, and 38 storage tanks. Other items recovered include 55 cooking ovens, 2 speedboats, 1 tricycle, 6 mobile phones, 6 vehicles, and 60 illegal refining sites. Troops recovered 712,535 liters of stolen crude oil and 76,800 liters of illegally refined AGO. According to the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, the military will not relent on its plan to kill terrorists and destroy the infrastructure that supports them. According to him, the military will increasingly degrade the terrorist military capability and effectiveness through their operations.
As you all know, we are fighting in the northeast, we are fighting in the northwest, we are fighting in the north central, in the south and in the southeast. These operations have their highest intensity in the northeast and in the northwest. Now these operations that we are involved in are complex, and they are complex because we have troops fighting in difficult terrains. Not just that, they are also complex because troops are fighting an adversary that adopts various forms across the various theaters. The operations are also complex in the sense that the adversary are mostly not in uniform, and this is deliberately so. They are also embedded within civilian population. This makes it challenging for us to strike without incurring civilian casualties. Furthermore, the terrorists are supported by informants that report on troops' movement. They also receive logistic support from persons that supply them food, people supply them fuel, and several other materials that sustain these terrorists in their enclave. I dare say that they even get women in their camps for their pleasures. All these add to the complexities of our ongoing operation. In essence, the terrorists have a support base of collaborators, and we must fish out these collaborators. That is the reason I keep repeating that winning the war without the support of the people is close to impossible. The military cannot do it alone. We need citizens to partake in fishing out the terrorist collaborators. Nevertheless, we have boots on the ground across the various theaters of operation, and we are fighting. We are fighting in different dimensions to crush the enemy. The ground forces are fighting on the ground. The Air Force is fighting, doing their thing from the air, while the Navy is at sea, protecting the mainstay of our economy, that is, fighting the crude oil theft. We are also fighting in the cyber dimension, because this war is not fought only on the battlefield. Now, for some of you, you might not know, but I tell you today that you see a lot of fake news, a lot of misinformation and disinformation. These are not ordinary. They are well orchestrated to achieve certain purposes and effects. The common denominator in all our operations across these theaters are the terrorists. The terrorists are the common enemy that we all must fight. The terrorists are responsible for keeping the nation in an almost state of constant counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations we have in the country. Citizens cannot live safely as long as terrorists exist. The terrorists must be crushed for citizens to have peace and live in safety. This is exactly what we are doing as a force. We are crushing them.
Our gallant officer of the week is Major General Abdullahi Mekano. He is the president of the Organization of Sport for Africa, OSMA. He shares inspiring stories of courage and triumph throughout his remarkable career as a sportsman heading military sports in Africa. The military and sport share a common trait: discipline, teamwork, and strategic thinking. Let's join Major General Mekano as he also shares light on the forthcoming military sports event in Abuja, Nigeria.
All my life in the army and in the armed forces, I'm into sports. When I finished my training as a young cadet, I was posted to Director of Military Sports and Physical Training. Since then, I have been in sports till today, when I became a Major General in the Army. I served as in the Director of Sport. Then I was moved to Abuja, where I became the commanding officer commanding physical training in the Gas Brigade, the presidency. Then from there, I was posted to Burkina Faso in Ouagadougou, where I served as technical sport officer of the International Military Sport Council liaison office. The liaison office in Burkina Faso, that's the West African Liaison Office. We call it WALO, West African Liaison Office of the International Military Sport Council, where I served for a very long time there. When I was about to finish my tenure at the Technical Liaison Office, I was elected to be the Secretary General of the African Military Sport Council. The headquarters is in Yaoundé, Cameroon. I served there for a very long time also. Then back to Nigeria, where I continued my service as a military man. Then from there, since you asked of sports, I contested to be the president of the African Military Sport Organization and also the world vice president of the International Military Sport Council. Luckily, the honor is given to Nigeria and to my humble self. So I was elected to become the president of the African Military Sport Organization. So I got the presidency during that time, and I was fully supported by Nigeria. And my colleagues in Africa also supported me because I got the highest vote. 3 of us contested, but I got the highest vote, and I emerged as the president of that organization. So since then, we have been organizing a series of sporting activities in Africa. The first one we organized is in Nigeria about 4 years ago or 3 years ago. We hosted a Sahel military game for peace and solidarity here in Abuja. And many other events in Morocco, in Algeria, in Tanzania, in Sierra Leone, and in South Africa. And now opportunity is given to us also, to Nigeria, to host the African Military Games here in Nigeria. And the game is coming on from 15th, 16th, 17th of November to 30th of November. Currently, about 40 African countries have sent their agreement that they are going to attend. But about 28 countries, they have sent their final entry with their numbers of the athletes they are going to participate, and even with their itinerary, I mean the flight and plan that they are coming to Nigeria. So that's where we are now. Now we have almost about 29 days to the Great Championship. We are ready for it. Nigeria is ready for it. Our humble Chief of Defense Staff, General C.J. Musa, is ready for it. And the Honorable Minister of Abuja is ready for that because we are hosting the game in his own city. He gave us also a gingerine approval also. And not forgetting our president, and President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. He gave us a very big and excellent boost to host the event here in Nigeria, and he's going to be the guest of honor for opening and closing ceremony. So that's where we stand now for the championship. We have two main challenges. The first one is language. You know, it's only in African continent where you find about 4 languages are majors in Africa. We have the Arabs speaking nations, we have the French speaking nations, we have English speaking nations, we have the Portuguese, and we have Spanish. And all these languages are claiming their own percentage right, and you have to respect that one. These are the challenges. Because anywhere we are meeting, we need to get people that can either translate or carry out the modalities of bringing these people together. Because sometimes I'll have about 4 chief delegates in my office, but all of them, they are speaking different language. Sometimes you find that we have to get translators to be speaking what we are speaking to them. Then the second one is, but we are getting read into that something. Honestly, we are united in Africa for that issue, very united. The second one is finance. You see, normally, no company, organization, or even individual would like to sponsor anything concerning military. We all know the implications, but they know better than us. So finance is what is giving us a challenge. There's a lot of challenges there. But we are very lucky. Most of our leaders, I mean the military, they are very much supporting. They support us with all what we want in terms of finance, in terms of cooperation, in terms of understanding, and in terms of focusing on what we are going to do and what we are doing and what we should do. Our motto of my organization is friendship through sport. So our aims of coming together to have an organization called African Military Sport Council is to unite the armed forces of Africa, to call for peace, solidarity, and understanding among ourselves. So bringing about 40 African countries in Nigeria we are going to achieve that aim of peace and solidarity among the armed forces and among all the African countries also, because whatever touches the armed forces, it touches the nations. Also, wherever we are going, we have the awareness. We are expecting about 3,000 athletes coming to Nigeria. They will come and see for themselves. And they are going to be our ambassadors when they go back to their own country, that we are living in peace, we are living in happiness. That's the aim of this game that we are going to host, and wherever we are hosting the game, that's our aim. You cannot separate the two, physical training and military. Yes. You must be physically fit to be a military man. In the ancient time, long time ago, once you are physically fit, you can be enrolled into the armed forces. So when we are doing sports, being it basketball, football, badminton, whatever that will make us to look healthy and physically fit, we are not only enjoying ourselves, but we are doing our own profession. We are trying to manifest what is in us outside, because the two cannot be separated. You cannot separate physical fitness and military. They are one. And it's something that we encourage. They encourage us to do, and we encourage our younger ones to do. And we continue to do that. So when you see a military man doing sport, it's not that for the sake of sport only, but it's for the sake of our profession, for the sake of us to be physically fit, to retain what is in our profession. You have to be physically fit to attack. You have to be physically fit to withdraw and plan more on how to attack. That's the extent of this thing. Then the other question you asked about the yes, you see, it is very difficult for you to gather armed forces. But during my tenure, I was able to organize almost about 4 events in many countries, including Nigeria, where a lot of armed forces came together. We play games, we exchange addresses, gifts, and we still communicate among ourselves. That was going to happen during this African military games. So to bring the armed forces together, you see them laughing, playing, exchanging ideas, exchanging addresses. It's a brief idea that is very difficult to get, but when you get it, you thank God Almighty and our leaders. And I would like to thank our Chief of Defense Staff, General C.J. Musa, and the service chiefs, the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, and the Chief of Air Staff for their concern in my organization and for the concern of the sport and the sporting activities in our armed forces. In fact, they are giving us encouragement with their humbleness they are showing and their interest and their involvement into the activities also. There's about 19 sports. If I can mention some few, we have football, we have basketball, we have handball, volleyball, we have archery, there's shooting, there's wrestling, there's boxing, there's taekwondo, there's karate also, there's I mentioned judo also. So these are some of the events. These are some of the events we are wishing to take place during that event. In fact, skating is one of the most populous and popular sports in the world. It's only in skating that you can find skating anywhere, in the ceremony, in the burial ceremonies, in restaurants, at the airports, in the hotels. You can find skating. It's a sport that you can do anywhere. It's only skating you can find in a restaurant giving food, serving as waiters. They are doing sport skating. You can see skaters during the burial ceremony carrying the corpse. Yes. They are rolling. You can see skaters doing all events like football, like handball, like marathon, half marathon, cross country. We do it in skating. And we are competing in skating in the Olympic Games. But the games is so much popular in Nigeria here, which we try to bring it up in Nigeria here, where we have a lot of youth. The last time we did skating championship, we have more than 2,000 youth that participated. And we say, why? But still, skating is not a federation in Nigeria. I don't know what is the reason, but we are pushing to make it to be a federation where we can bring youth, where we can bring women to participate in the event, where we can take up youth in the street to concentrate in skating sporting. Recently, we sent our request to the governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi, to give us approval to host the second edition of the National Championship in Nasarawa. We are still waiting for the approval. And I know the governor is a sportsman, and he will definitely, we hoped, he will accept our offer. If not, we'll still do it in Abuja here. But the reason why it is not still a federation, I cannot explain. It wonders me, it worries me actually.
You're still on to Gallantry, the heroic exploit of the Nigerian military. Our next segment is showcasing military's operational capabilities and strategic approaches to combating insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and other forms of criminality. The Nigerian military's dedication to keeping citizens safe is unwavering.
The challenges we are facing is not only a military challenge, it's a whole of society, and then the whole society must come together to ensure that we succeed, and that's why it's important. And so we're getting all the support now from the locals, from the government, both local government, federal, state governments. We're getting all this, so we're working as a team, and that has helped us greatly. We must love the country. It's when you love the place, you can protect it. We must learn to love the country. Two, we should stop castigating our country. A lot of people say a lot of evil, bad things about the country. Words have power. You cannot be saying bad things about something you think you are, because you too will fall into it. So that's why it's important. And then we must put hands together to support the security forces in all we're doing. You see something, say it as quickly as possible so that action will be taken. And then there are some people, unscrupulous elements that are still trading with these people. They give them support, give them logistics, give them funding. We are telling them stop. These guys are monsters. They're just killing people aimlessly. If they finish with the people they are killing, they can't get anybody that are coming after them. So anybody who thinks he's dealing with a monster, I think he's making money. His own day too is coming because they'll come after him. It has happened severally. So we want to appeal to everyone to continue to support us in what we are doing, and I'm sure we'll succeed.
We'll take a moment to honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our great nation, remembering their bravery and selflessness.
summary, I will say that we are constantly assessing our actions, adjusting and amending our operations in order to completely annihilate terrorists across the country. Accordingly, troops are working decisively to fish out and kill these terrorists, stop the insecurity, and ensure the safety of citizens across the country. It is important that citizens know that winning the war depends not only on military, weapons, and finances. Winning the war largely depends on the people. And it is for this reason we encourage citizens to see something, say something, so we can do something about it.
When you see something, say something. Remember that we all have a role to play in ensuring that we sanitize our communities from those non-state actors. This is where we come to the end of the program. Gallantry, the heroic exploit of the Nigerian military. I am Godwin Amunde. See you next week. Bye for now.